There is just something so unhinged from this scene of Gushing Over Magical Girls, because Kiwi, let's be honest, she's been a bit of a hound dog. She has not known what consent means, continuously asked Utena to go to a love hotel, and it's very clear by the way this scene is written what the offer of Gushing Over Magical Girls meant. They meant that Kiwi needs to be sent to horny jail. That's exactly what happened here, and this series, man, is just, it's too good. Like, oh my goodness, it's something else. Legitimately, I have no words for just how incredible of a show this is. It has no business being this good. Like, I want to be blunt here. Like, every single week, I go into this show knowing what I'm about to get into. Like, I know that this is about to be a straight up just fan service, like, show. A lot of, like, Yuri stuff going on. But it's not just that. That is really hilarious or just engaging. It's just, the story's pretty good. The character interactions are pretty good too. And like, even the fan service scenes are just hilariously written, and it just doesn't feel like low-hanging fruit. It honestly just, I don't know, it works in such a interesting way that it makes a lot of sense why Gushing Over Magical Girls is making waves. It really does. And it's just like, I'm just gonna say, after I watched a certain scene, I'm very scared to click on it, but if I click on it, I'm gonna have to censor the screen. But if it does happen, you'll know why. But there is a scene that happens within this episode where you have our characters basically getting, how to put this in a very delicate, YouTube-friendly way. Basically, our new character, pretty much Alice in Wonderland, has an ability to put people in, like, a toy box. And when they're put in a toy box, she has complete control over them and can pretty much do whatever she wants with them. And the only downside is that her ability is so broken that she has, like, she gets tired and she falls asleep very quickly, as you see in this episode. So she can't use her ability consistently. There is a limit to it because she's so young, but also, just it's so broken. So it's nice to see some form of ramification from how broken her ability is. But anyways, basically there is a scene with the magical girls that is just straight unhinged. Like, you have literally the characters, the actual good magical girls, are put into this box, and they start thinking they're all family, and there's just this whole wholesome love scene. Shut up. I felt after I was watching that scene like I was being watched or something. I was just like, please tell me, like, nobody's watching me. Because it's like, look, I live alone, but, like, even I'm sitting here when I'm watching this show, I'm just like, please, don't let anyone come to the door and start knocking on my door or something. Like, hey, anyone here? Because it's like, how do you explain this show? If someone was to walk in to your room or, knock on your door or whatever, how are you supposed to explain, like, oh yeah, this show, it's a very family-friendly show and all that, don't worry about it, it's, yeah, don't worry about the fan service you're seeing on the screen, the uncensored content. You can't explain that. I honestly think switching to maybe, like, some form of, fan servicey, like, maybe, I don't know, nothing's really coming to mind, but something definitely much worse potentially you could swap to, because it's just like, bro, Gushing Over Magical Girls, it's hard to explain when someone catches you watching this. But, anyways, let's actually get into the character Alice for a second. So we have a new character that is introduced in this episode, and she's a pretty cute design character. She is someone that, more or less, is very socially awkward. That is what the episode kind of presents, that she can't really speak, or she didn't speak at all within the episode, but she has an attachment to cats, which is what drew her to, the mascot character that, Utena and them follow, and she basically is just someone that seems to have a very rough family situation, because the episode implies that she's very lonely, she's not someone that gets to interact with a lot of people, and so her interaction with, like, Utena and Kiwi in this episode was kind of fulfilling for her. It allowed her to have some purpose in her life, or, a mix-up in her life to feel like she belongs, or is a part of something. So it's interesting. Like, there is some depth to this show. It's not necessarily just fan service and, all that. There actually is a story taking place. And actually, even with this scene here where she meets, the mascot, Venna, or whatever, how you pronounce, the name, basically, we find out that this individual is talking to someone, like, talking to some form of higher being or something, which instantly piqued my interest because it was glossed over very quickly while this episode was, coming out when I was watching it. Like, it wasn't even mentioned really at all. It was just briefly dropped, and then just like we went to the next scene with her abilities. And I was just like, whoa, hold the phone here. There's something crazy going on with that. Basically, from what we got here is that there is someone higher than this character, at least, in, following orders. And we know that from the brief little backstory we got a few episodes ago of what drove this individual to be like a part of an evil organization is because they weren't treated right and all that. But kind of find out it was obviously a lie. There was some sarcasm there. But there might be some truth to that. And I feel like maybe there is a higher being, maybe a magical girl itself that is in control of everything. It's a potential possibility. I don't know. But I do want to point that out. There is some story elements kind of seeping through the cracks within this episode that is being built up for certain events later on. So I'm excited about that one. Legitimately. I am curious to see, because I have been told from manga readers of Gushing Over Magical Girls that the story gets really good. Like, it's actually a really good story. It's not like just fan service content. There's a good story that happens, and, it kind of, in a way, it kind of spins the very essence of what a magical girl show is on its head and really deconstructs it. And if that is true, from what I've been told from manga readers, I'm looking forward to it, because it's like the last time something really deconstructed the magical girl genre was, Madoka Magica, which was a very impactful series. It really changed the landscape for what, anime is for magical girl series. So, thinking about all of that, it's like, if this is kind of doing something similar in that degree, I'm looking forward to it, because, the series is obviously making waves. It's very popular. A lot of people is enjoying it, and if it continues to do that, it might cause some ripples through this genre and make maybe some changes. So that would actually be kind of interesting to see, its everlasting impact on a series. We could be seeing a new beginning, a new era, so to speak, for magical girl shows. Now, anyways, with all that said, I do want to talk about, Alice's design. I want to point out that obviously her very design is heavily inspired by Alice in Wonderland. Even Utena mentions it herself when she transformed into a magical girl. She had the whole Alice in Wonderland type outfit going on, to the toys, etc. It was just straight on the nose with it. It was not trying to pretend or hide what it was actually referencing. But when it comes to design, she is very adorable, very cute. But that forehead, though, like, can we talk about her forehead? Her forehead is straight up massive. Like, can we get a zoom in? Like, can we get a zoom in on this forehead real quick? Because, like, holy crap, like, look at this forehead. Like, it is absolutely insanely large. Like, you look at the eyebrows real quick, and then you look at her character, you can see there's just so much forehead. Like, the shape of her head and everything, it's massive. There is so much forehead there, and I'm just like, holy crap. Like, you can literally do designs on that. But jokes aside, though, great character, great episode. Questionable scenes, as always, when it comes to Gushing Over Magical Girls. I cannot wait to see where it goes next, honestly, because the story is obviously starting to ramp up, and I feel like episode 6 is probably going to be quite the banger. But I'll leave it at that. Thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed my video, do leave me a like. It does help me out a lot. And with that, Chibi out.